everybody. Welcome to Hit Rewind. This episode, we're doing another perfect concert playlist. And can I talk any faster? Sold! I'm Michael, and that's Ron on the other side. I noticed that at work, when I'm at work lately, I've been super intense. I've been answering the phone like, and I'm shocked, and no one goes, what?
Shut up, the other way.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll probably lose their pace or so it would hang up. I'll tell them I'm in a time warp. Speaking of time warps, we're going back to the early 80s with New Wave. I think this is our first... Is this our... No, this is our second New Wave because we did the Cars and the Fix and Adamant. So we are doing the perfect concert playlist of the B52s, Blondie, and the Talking Heads. And kind of the order is random, depending on who goes first. And guess what? I get to go first this time. All right, so I don't know if your opener is the same. Mine is literally in that order. B52s, Blondie, and Talking Heads.
Okay.
So I'm starting off with B52s, who honestly, I've listened to most of their albums. I didn't realize that dealing with this whole list that I was going to leave them with the fewest amount of songs. So I do have to say, they have the curse of Oingo Boingo, where songs go, I think, just too long, that they really need to trim it down. And I think they perfected that with their 89 album, Planet Claire. So I'm going to start off with some of their early stuff. Private Idaho, I think, just has one hell of a great surfer riff.
Yep.
And then Give Me Back My Man, Planet Claire, Channel Z. If you don't know what Channel Z is, before you had streaming channels, before you had TCM, all this stuff where they kind of curated a list and they discovered stuff and kind of cleaned it up, fixed it. It was Channel Z out of Los Angeles, and people really outside of California probably didn't get this. I only hear about it now in legend. But they're like famous for finding the original director's cut of Heaven's Gate and showing that to people, and then that finally got some respect, whereas I don't know if you've ever seen Heaven's Gate. It's been maligned for a very long time for being insanely expensive, insanely long, and kind of boring. I don't care for it, but to each their own. That's what Channel Z is, if you're ever curious. I think their last big hit single was Good Stuff off their 92 album. It's funny, after that album, they really started to kind of back off from recording. Did you notice that in their discography?
I did.
Yeah, it's just like once the mid-90s hit, they were basically done. I think there's only been, one, maybe two albums since in the last 30 years?
When was it the brother died?
I want to say it was 86. That's why there's... Yeah, that's why there's...
a little bit of a hiatus after that.
Yeah. But maybe they just realized they had their catalog of songs, go enjoy their life, and have a small tour every year. I don't know.
As long as they didn't squander it, they're probably set.
Yeah. You know what I found as I wrote this list, and I forgot one song, and I'm just going to mention it real quick. So when Fred went off on his own in, I think, 84, he did a song I thought was so hilarious when I was a kid. And it's there's a monster in my pants, and it does a funky dance. It goes in and out and makes everybody shout, oh no, a giant monster!
I don't know why, but I vaguely remember you singing that as we're walking down to get pizza.
We would, yeah. Well, I had it. I think it was just such a niche hit, and for some reason, before we had our alternative station, we had a station that was kind of like at WME, but it aired. I mean, it aimed younger, and it was usually around, I think it was like 103.9 out of Fort Wayne, and they played more hip-hop than WME did, and novelty songs, and weird, just little niche kind of stuff. That's where I heard that song, beer is liquid, bread is good for you, we like to drink till we spew, ooh, who cares if we get fat, I'll drink to that, so once more, what is the multiplicator, what comes to, I can't ever get to that part. What comes in a bottle or a can? Yeah. But yeah, that was from it. So where was I? I'm sorry. Rome, I think, is their best song. There's something about it that really connects to me, at least, about wanting to be free and seeing the world, experiencing new things. And then finish off. You can't end this concert really without Love Shack.
No.
All right. So are they your opener as well? All right, what's your list?
My list is in no particular order. I just threw them in there because I know I wanted to hear them. So, although I do feel like coming out on Rock Lobster might be fun.
Yeah, I only have a problem with that because it goes on too long. That's it.
I mean, it doesn't have to go on that long. Maybe it could lead into something
Yeah.
else. But Rome's also on my list. Love Shack, Planet Claire, 52 Girls, Dances Mess Around, Legal Tender from Whammy, Channel V, Whammy. Tell It Like a T.I. Is, and Is That You, Modi?
If you like the B52s, I highly suggest Southern Culture on the Skids. They're much more rockabilly, but they still have that kitsch, retro, funny vibe.
Yes, I'm talking about awkward.
Yeah, I just thought maybe I lost the phone call. We're both just sitting here awkwardly in silence. Okay, never mind. All right, so
that was the end of my list.
All right. So I have Blondie opening second. Is that what lines up with yours, or?
Yes.
Okay, because I wasn't sure. That one seemed like it might almost surpass. And I have 11 songs from them. Oh, shit. Actually, I think I might have one more song from Blondie than I do Talking Heads.
I say I was back and forth on Blondie or Talking Heads, and the only thing that made me stick with Talking Heads was that I knew a lot more of their songs.
Oh, okay.
No offense to Blondie, but I could sing every word for most of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I actually do have one more from Blondie than Talking Heads. So normally it would be in the opposite order. I didn't realize till this moment. But it's Kismet, since that lines up with your list. So I'm starting off with Maria, which is their big comeback hit from 1999. And sadly, that was it. They kind of just disappeared after that. Call Me. I mean, I just think that has a heck of a drum. The whole drum's kicking in and the whole thing. Hanging on a Telephone, which is weird that I mostly know that from the Jerky Boys soundtrack.
Okay.
If you know who the Jerky Boys are, you'd be surprised probably that they had briefly a Disney-produced movie. Excuse me. Rip Her to Shreds is next. The famous one, Heart of Glass, of course, being one of the first songs to ever hit the top 40 with I guess technically a rap. I have Sunday Girl here, and I couldn't even tell you. I can't even remember what that song is. That's weird. Mind you, I wrote this list 2 months ago, I think. Atomic is after that. I really like Atomic. That kind of slow. It's kind of like a mid song, where it kind of does a little jam session in the middle. It's like New Wave's version of the Grateful Dead. Union City Blues. Picture This. The Tide is High. Island of Lost Souls, and Dreaming is such a powerful song. Maybe the one that I think affects me the most of all their stuff.
Okay.
Dreaming is free, kids.
Got more music, more songs out of there that aren't on my list. That's awesome.
All right. So what is on yours?
Okay, so no particular, of course. In the Sun from Blondie, 1976. Rip Her to Shreds. Shark and Jets Clothing. Rapture. No, I like that. Got off the Plastic Letters album from '78. There's a song called "Once I Had a Love," aka the disco song, which is in fact "Heart of Glass" from 1978.
Oh.
A little bit different though. It's sang a little bit different. There's a slower lead up to it. So what I figured she could do, she could start playing that, get through a little bit, and do a little transition into Heart of Glass.
Okay.
That'd be kind of cool. The Tide is High. Detroit 442. Dreaming, of course, and One Way or Another. I gotta have that one on there.
Yeah, that one I should have put on there too. I love that one. So I'm gonna get you one. That was also one that I think I discovered on a soundtrack. I can't remember what it was, but all right. So that is the end of Blondie, and Talking Heads is next. I didn't put any of his solo stuff on here because there's just too much good stuff from Talking Heads, but. David Byrne, I think, went on his own in 87 or 89 and has never, I don't think he's ever reunited. I can't remember. I feel like there must have been some sort of reunion concert, but no more albums, which is kind of a bummer because their sound to me is so magical and unique.
Let's see. 4 members of Talking Heads reunited in 23 to promote the 40th anniversary of their concert film, Stop Making Sense.
Oh, okay. Which is a really good concert film, by the way. Martin Scorsese directed it. So I start off with "And She Was." Not the heavy opener that I usually do, but I just thought it was kind of fun. That's kind of how their concerts usually are, is kind of fun and bouncy. Um, so then I go into "Wild Wild Life." You got to put "Psycho Killer" in there, like their number one karaoke song. It's so much fun. Um, "Road to Nowhere." "Love Building a Fire," and then I move right into "Burning Down the House." I mean, how could I not? It's right there. Um, so this one isn't on any of their greatest hits collections. It was never a charting hit. No one really talks about this one, but I absolutely love "Sugar on My Tongue." It's really early. I think it's off their first album. It's a really fun, bouncy song. Um, "Nothing But Flowers," which I believe that's the one where they talk about like, oh, that used to be a parking lot, and now it's just the flowers and flowers. It's about nature taking back over from all of our overexpansion. Yeah.
I liked that one. It
Yeah.
didn't make my list, unfortunately.
Life.
I only have 9.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
Life During Wartime, and "Take Me to the River," which I think is a really powerful song. Bring in a chorus for that one.
Mhm.
And "Once in a Lifetime," which I believe is probably their biggest hit. I don't know why. I have one written here, "Cross-Eyed and Painless," but that's not on the list, so I don't know why I wrote that on the side there. So that is my list. I'm ending with
time after doing these lists.
yeah, probably, yeah. So "Once in a Lifetime" is how I'm ending this, and it is your turn.
Oh, apparently I didn't have as many as I thought. So we'll have that other one. Burning Down the House. I don't know why I feel like that just.
That is
the
a
vocals at the very beginning.
yeah, that is a big opener.
Yes. Once in a Lifetime. I didn't get out of the 80s except for Psycho Killer. I do have that on here. Swamp, Moon Rocks, This Must Be the Place. I did like Wildlife, And She Was, and Road to Nowhere.
Yeah, if you don't get to see Stop Making Sense, I also suggest True Stories, which Talking Heads adjacent. It's David Byrne hosted. It has a lot of the music involved with it. It's just not a concert film, but it has like this little. It's almost like a documentary of this small little town, and them getting together to sing music. And John Goodman has a significant role in. It's just a lot of fun.
John Goodman does?
Yeah, it's. I think it's produced by, directed by Jonathan Demme. It's a weird hybrid of concert film slash mockumentary slash small town, like almost sitcom-y feel. It's a very odd movie, but it's very entertaining.
Okay.
All right, so that is the end of our list. I apologize. I have a throat drop in my mouth, so you probably hear a little muffled here. But I was choking pretty bad there. So that is it, everybody. Thank you for listening, and thank you, Ron.
No problem. Thank you.